What's up, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON back with the third part of my Halo Mental Tips series. Today we're looking at handling pressure, both long and short term. Short-term pressure would be the in-game situations where you have to land your shots to survive, or make that one snipe counter, nail that rocket launcher shot. These are situations where you must play to the standard of which you are capable to survive and win encounters. Oftentimes, once a new player picks up a sniper rifle and gets pressured by an opponent, they cave, missing shots wildly, making poor choices. It has happened to all of us. You're at an advantage in a gunfight, and all you need is that one last headshot, and then you whiff again, like 6 shots in a row, and the opponent ends up taking you out. It's an embarrassing, horrible feeling because you know that you could have done better. You know and have seen yourself play to a higher standard before, but the pressure got to you. Well, guess what? It's cool. That happens to everybody. We all choke and mess up. It's important, though, to focus on what we can do to minimize the amount of times that situations like these occur. First of all, what is pressure? Pressure is the feeling you get when threatened. Whether it be threatened to lose a power weapon, a gunfight, an overshield, map position, fear of losing the game, or even bigger, fear of losing a tournament, fear of losing a rank, or maybe a match to a close friend, a rival. It all stems from a threat rooted in the fear of loss. When we feel threatened, our brain creates a chemical, emotional reaction. These emotions cloud our judgment and cause us to make emotional choices instead of rational ones. We'll be revisiting this emotional choice debacle later in the video. It is important. In terms of short-term pressure, which is probably why most of you are here watching this video, the gunfight situations, okay? There's only one recipe for conquering the pressure, and that is to focus. Now wait, look, it sounds stupidly obvious, but you have to focus on the moment. You can't be thinking about anything more than what is in front of you. This one is so hard to describe, but it comes down to removing distractions and getting in the zone. Those two things. Now the distraction part, that's pretty easy, but the getting in the zone bit, now that's hard. So first of all, turn off your phone, and by that I just mean turn your phone on vibrate and block the screen from your view. Turn it around, do whatever you need to. I can't tell you how many times a tweet or a text has popped up during a match, and even if I didn't look at the phone, just the flash of the screen lighting up in my peripheral vision throws me out of the moment, and I end up making like a little choke in the game, or I have a little bump, I lose my focus. Even during recording this, some telemarketer called me, and it threw off my whole rhythm, man. I had to stop and do a retake. Turn away the phone when practicing. You can check it in between matches. Also, disable the in-game music and pause your own music when you're in a match. Look, I like to stream music. Many of us do while we play. It's relaxing. It's fun. But if you want to give your brain the 100% best chance of focusing, pause your music during the match, okay? There are so many audio cues that give you advantages in a match of Halo. The rockets off in the distance, gunfights on the right side of the map, etc. For those 7 or 8 minutes you're in a game, if you want to focus like to the maximum level, then just pause the music. Now in Warzone, or if I'm just chilling, I don't really care and I'll leave the music running, but I know for a fact that it tends to distract me a little bit more, even if it is just slight, okay? It's extra stimuli for your brain to process. Now there's some of you who are going to be like, I don't care, whatever. All right, so the getting in the zone bit, the other half of this short-term focus. This one is the harder one. If you've ever watched a professional Counter-Strike, LoL, Dota, StarCraft 2, Halo, or virtually any pro gamer, when they're in a match, you can see they are focused, 110% on the game and match in front of him. They have this razor-sharp vision that looks like they're going to shoot lasers out of their eyes into the monitor in front of them. Getting in the zone and focusing purely on the moment is a skill that will take years to work on. The pro player isn't thinking about if they win, how many new Twitter followers they'll get, or if they lose, where in the loser bracket they're going to have to be. They aren't thinking about what they'll eat for dinner or if they forgot to tie their shoe. They are focused on the moment. They are focused on what is in front of them within the match. So when someone is pressuring them in a game, they block out the emotional fears of what losing that gunfight means for them. When you pick up the sniper in Halo 5, you dang well better be ready to shoot people. The maps are small, the kill times are fast. You will be pressured. That sniper will be contested, so you better be ready for it. Expect the pressure. Don't let it catch you off guard. You know when that rocket launcher comes up, 3 or 4 dudes are going to be there, ready to duke it out. Don't let this intimidate you. Be mentally prepared for it. And if you get your hands on the rocks, don't tense up. Breathe freely. but keep that razor sharp focus. I'll give an example back from my mountain bike racing days. A handful of you guys know that I used to race mountain bikes professionally, and it was only for a few years that I was doing the pro scene. Prior to that, it was juniors and the amateur level. And as I raced over time, I got better at learning how to focus on the race in front of me rather than, if I get X place in this race, I'll sit this way in the standings for the overall, blah, blah, blah. And when I was a younger racer, man, I would let that stuff get to me and have some bad races. But near the end of my time racing, there was this period where you're racing down the track and you don't see the spectators, you don't hear the announcer, you don't see what's beyond the tape, because a mountain bike race, you've got, little event tape blocking off the two sides of the track that you have to stay in. And it's really surreal. It's hard to describe, but everything else just blurs except the trail in front of you. That's all you see. When you're in the zone, it's 4 minutes where you get to the bottom of the hill and you don't even remember really what happened outside of the track. You didn't see anybody else. It was just complete and utter focus on what you were doing as you were riding down the hill. And oftentimes, if you got distracted and you start thinking about other things, you get tossed out of that zone in a heartbeat, man. Learning to focus is really learning the art of blocking out those distracting thoughts, those emotions when it matters most. After the game, then you can deal with those feelings. But the moment you start reacting emotionally is the moment you begin to tilt. Is it easy? No. It takes practice. I want to emphasize, don't tense up. Don't death grip the controller. When you start grabbing that controller really tight, you lose the finesse control that you need. Breathe. Remember to breathe. Relax. Mistakes happen. You will drop shots. You will miss snipes. But believe in yourself. Put the crosshairs where you think the enemy will be and fire. One of the best pieces of advice I ever heard from a sniper, it was a Halo Reach Pro. And it's so simple, but place the crosshairs where you think the opponent will be. It's so simple, but it makes so much sense in game. When I say believe in yourself, have confidence enough in your gameplay so that when you see that shot in your mind, you go for it. You don't act timid. You don't say, oh, that's a shot that somebody better than me would go for. No, you go for it. Okay, so long-term pressure, the good old tilt talk. Remember those emotional decisions we discussed earlier and how reacting off of them is bad? Well, getting heated, frustrated, tired, angry, all of those emotions fill up your tilt meter. This is like a frustration meter that builds up in your chest. It's a saltometer, okay? Sodium intake maximum. We've all been to that boiling point. You lose, back. You get angry, and you start making decisions based on those frustrated feelings. At that point, tilt has occurred, and it's time for a 15 or 20-minute break, period. It's time to refocus. You would be amazed what 15 minutes away can do for your mental psyche. Watch back a replay, get water, get food, watch a YouTube video, watch TV, do whatever, play a different game. It's so important to not play when you're frustrated and on tilt because you start making stupid decisions that end up getting you killed more angry. It's a vicious feedback loop. And just walking away, even if you're playing with friends, just be like, guys, I need 10 minutes. Play one or two without me, I'll be back. You'll be amazed. You come back hungry. Maybe you're so salty that you just need to stop for the whole afternoon or that night, but most of the time after 10 minutes, those emotions, those chemical reactions in your brain causing you to make dumb decisions go away. This all circles back to the original video in this series. What are your goals? Why are you feeling threatened? Is it perhaps that your goals are feeling jeopardized or at risk? I'm Plat 6 right now after finishing my Team Slayer placements just a couple days ago. And I was Diamond in the previous season, okay? I didn't play almost all of January. I've been sick for most of the beginning of 2016. So sick that I just wasn't touching the game. So when I got Plat 6, I gotta tell you guys, I'm 100% cool with this. A younger, less mature Dragoon would now be scared about losing matches, about dropping further lower into Plat if I go down to Plat 5, Plat 4, Plat 3, right? I'm not. When I log in, I'm there to play and improve my own decisions and gameplay. I'm not on just to win or to try and get diamond. The winning and the ranking up will occur naturally if you're practicing. You want to dig yourself a hole? then allow the emotions to control you. Be the person at the end of a match that complains about connection or weapons or maps or teammates or spawns, blah, blah, blah. I've been playing Halo, man, for 10 years, over 10 years, and there are so many lobbies that end, and you just hear that guy on the mic who's like, teammates suck. That was so garbage. What a terrible game. No GG. Terrible game. You want to be that person? Let the tilt meter fill? Bask in the salt? Go for it, man. Or you can make a conscious effort to combat these factors. I'm not telling you guys that I've got it figured out. I don't. I get mad. I get frustrated. I get discouraged. When I was doing my placement matches all solo, and some of the games went well, some of them went horrible. Okay? But I definitely have become a more mature player over the last, 4 years doing YouTube or whatever it is, because my mental attitude has changed. I feel like it's such a waste of time to go and solo queue into a team playlist and get pissed at external factors, things I can't control, like who I get matched up against or who's on my team. Why get angry at things that are out of your control? You're just asking to introduce bad emotions into your play. Now, I've received a lot of comments of people still saying, well, how can I rank up? I keep getting teammates who quit out who are just plain awful. So here's the thing. There's a lot of people who have solo queued up into Diamond and Onyx in team game types, period. They've gone through the same BS that those comment people complain about. They've gone through tons of bad matches, bad teammates, people quitting out. But the difference is those solo queue people who fought their way into Diamond and Onyx, okay, battled through the factors that were beyond their control. They grinded through that. They played to try and become the best players they could be individually. And they didn't let those external factors get after them, make them salty, fill up the tilt meter, okay? Now, you have a few options here if you're one of those players who like, dude, I keep getting horrible teammates. How am I supposed to rank up BBK? Number one, if the team issues are really bugging you, then just go play free-for-all. It's a playlist where it's entirely on you. Now, a lot of people don't like FFA because it's revealing. There is nobody to lean on. There's no room to be a poser. It's entirely on you. If you're losing, it's a lack of good decisions in your own play. Yes, we've discussed here there's a slight element of luck involved with the spawns in FFA, but not enough to make a big difference if you play a decent quantity of matches. So that's one option. Number two, you can just find teammates. If you're that die-hard about getting a higher rank and you want to believe in the it's my teammate's fault mentality, then use Team Beyond's recruitment forums or the Halo subreddit recruitment tools and put together a team, a group of people you can play together with. It is a team game, so yes, when you get near the higher levels, having teammates to communicate with is a massive help, and it's a totally different game at that point. It's awesome. It's a huge part of Halo. Finding teammates and friends to play with, though, takes hard work from you, nobody else. Unless you're extremely lucky, you don't just fall into a group of great players. It just doesn't happen. Like, unless you're really lucky, you have to go out there and be proactive and work on finding people to play with that match your style and just somebody you get along with and who's on at a similar time. That's only going to come from you having the motivation to put yourself out there on recruitment forums. And your final option, if you want to keep doing solo queue in team match-made game types, okay, is just to learn to not give a rip about your win-loss and play to improve your individual gameplay. You know, if you continue to solo queue in these team games without teammates, you have to reach the conclusion that you're there to improve your individual gameplay or you'll get frustrated. It's annoying. You'll torture yourself if you get mad at things that are out of your control. You know, I suggest watching the first video in this series if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'll repeat here one last time as we wrap up. When you solo queue, you will lose games because of your teammates and factors out of your control. But guess what? In every single game, there were things you could have done better. And if you avoid self-critique by placing the blame heavily on external factors like your random teammates, connection, blah, 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 you're going to slow your growth as a player. Let's wrap up with these encouraging words. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate your achievements. Celebrate your practice. Dude, Halo 5 can be freaking discouraging. It can. It's a hard game. There's a lot of good players, man. I'm constantly amazed when I run into somebody who's like a step above. Oh, that champion dude in FFA who's like clearly unreal with the sniper. But believe in yourself, man. We're doing this improvement series, and it can be so easy to get critical about yourself to where you just self-deprecate all the time. Don't do that. Ultimately, staying calm under pressure boils down to confidence and belief in yourself. That's all I got to say for today. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I look forward to the next tip video. If you have questions for me or if you found this helpful, please let me know down below. Have a great afternoon.